my position on reparations.
I don't believe in reparations. I don't.
Good. Next. Well, then you don't believe in the black community.
Of all black people in the country, how many of them are actually descendants of slaves? Because you've had a lot of immigration over the last 100 years in America. Am I eligible for reparations right now? I would say the answer is no, I'm not. Because my family is from Jamaica. My father's Panamanian. His grandparents were born in Panama. My father immigrated to the United States. So does that make me eligible? So you got to go through all of that. So if you're going to talk about reparations, today what you're talking about is taking money from other Americans. 2/3 of the American people did not go to college. Is it okay for Joe Biden to say, well, we're going to forgive student loans, even though 2/3 did not go to college? Is it now the debt burden of the 2/3 of the American people that did not go? I will tell you the answer is no.
Might have to drop a dime on them.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
You gotta stop it.
I don't like that shit.
For sure, bro.
I don't like that shit.
All right, y'all, so we back with another video. Y'all know how we do. I always pushing help, wealth, and a better understanding of self. So check this out. In this video, we going over how some foundational Black Americans feel about the race between Byron Donalds and David Jolly. Now, you know, on this channel, we've been pushing hard for Byron Donalds not to win anything in Florida because of how he feels about reparations for Black people. Now, what's crazy about this is Byron Donalds is a first-generation immigrant. And they're saying he could become the first really melanated, but they're making it seem like he could become the first Black governor of Florida. And it's the same thing they did with Barack Obama. He could be the first Black president, but these people are not foundational Black American. And this is part of the reason why we delineate, because they're using people to use our name, image, and likeness, and they're not originally, their parents, or they don't have a lineage from America. So it's kind of a big cosplaying situation going on here, but make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, push me on the algorithm. I greatly appreciate that. We're going to go over how some of the FBAs feel about, you know, him possibly could win in Florida. And I want to know what y'all think about this in the comment section. Without further ado, let's get it.
What is wrong with y'all? As a resident Floridian, we are officially stuck between a rock and a hard place because we have to choose between Jolly or Byron. Ugh. There's not a single nightmare in my mind that would be worse than having to decide between these two obviously shitty options. Jolly used to be a Republican, and most notably recently has said things like, oh, I don't want what Mayor Mamdani is doing for Florida. You don't want the citizens of Florida to be happy because the citizens of New York sure look fucking happy. And then Byron's not getting my vote at all. Like, voting for a Black Republican, I might as well shoot myself in the foot and then jump into the lake out there and get death twirled by some alligators. This really sucks. Why couldn't y'all have shown up for Dana Marie Foster? Why did only 25% of us go to the voting poll?
There's no way. Say you swear to God. Say you swear to God. Put that on Allah. Put that on Allah. Say wallahi, bro. Say wallahi. Say you swear to God that just happened.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a Black governor in the name of Byron Donalds. Byron Donalds is the new Republican governor in Florida. Bruh, this could be a dub.
I got a question. If the Republicans are so racist, why that there could be, well, Byron's pretty much a go-ahead. He's going to win, right? And then John James has a really good chance. Why is it that they elected 2 Black Republicans to be their nominee? And we even have an Indian in Ohio that's probably going to be the next governor. Nobody's talking about that. Nobody's talking about that. If this was a Democrat, if Byron was a Democrat right now, this would be the biggest story in America right now. The fact that we have in the Deep South a black man that is probably going to be the next governor of Florida. That would be on CNN. That would be on MSNBC. That would be everywhere. In the South. In the South. But because we have a biased media, because we have black people and black activists that are scared for the story to get out, they don't want to hear the real truth, which is that Republicans ain't as racist as you think they are. They're of course racist Republicans, and some of them won't vote.
And, you know, he's saying this because he's a diehard Republican, and he don't want to seem like, you know, he's on the Republican side and is racist here. He is admitting that there's some, but he know he uncomfortable.
For Byron because he's black. But they're the minority because the majority, over 800,000 Republicans came out and supported Byron Donalds, more than came out to support Jolly. And even more are going to come out and support him, probably over 1 million in the midterm elections. And we will have a black governor. And then John James, of course, in Michigan is going to pull out a great upset. John James in Michigan is going to do a great thing. He's going to do great, I think. And so he has a little uphill battle because Michigan's really blue. But it's the fact that I thought the Republicans were so racist. This shouldn't even be happening. They shouldn't even have picked him. They picked him over all white candidates. And that's the story that the CNN don't want to tell you. That's the story that's not getting out.
I want to offer a different perspective on the current governor race status of Florida. So the person that won the Democratic nomination was a former Republican, a white male, obviously. And I don't know much about dude besides he did not just switch over for this race. He had switched over back in like 2018, which is 2 years into the last Trump administration. I was never a registered Republican, but while in church, yeah, no, I've never been a conservative. I've always had more of a progressive worldview, even in church. Nonetheless, I was on that team with those people, so to speak, until Trump got elected. And I was like, I can't do this shit anymore. And since then, if you've known me, I have been extremely vocal about the bullshit that I saw while I was in those spaces. So while I'm not telling y'all to get behind him and celebrate this, we can still be mad that Dana didn't win, just like we were mad that Jasmine didn't win. But if you pay attention, Jasmine pulled that Uno reverse and ran and is running in the new congressional district that they made for her that they thought she wouldn't win in, that she will probably win in anyways. Now, while Dana probably will not be able to pull a stunt like that, at least not for several years, I don't want y'all to get down and feel like all is lost just because this is who we have, because look at who he's up against. Number one. Number two, again, what I'm saying is people that were on the inside will have the best intel and ability to fight the opposition. And that's exactly what I've been doing. I understand how they think and how they function. So I'm more equipped to battle them than people that have never been on the inside because you don't know how they move. And this is something that I've been saying for a while, that we need to be more strategic and more proactive than reactive, because on our end, we do a lot of defending against the bullshit they do versus being proactive and beating them to the punch, which is what they tend to do. Project 2025 surprised so many people because none of y'all were paying attention to what the fuck they were doing on the other side. So while this was not the best news that we could have gotten, don't be so sure. You never know what this dude may bring. And again, I haven't looked that much into him, but I am saying that someone that was already on the inside will know a lot more about how to beat the opposition than those of y'all that have never gotten 10 feet within them. You know what I mean?
Yo, have you noticed that the dude that's running for primary or whatever the fuck in Florida, the black guy, any of his campaign ads y'all see, there's not a single other black person besides him? I'm talking, he don't even got no brown folk in there, bruh. Like,
we're gonna be bigger than Davos. We're gonna be bigger than London. We're gonna be bigger than Singapore. New York and Chicago, please, they're done. We are wide open. We have actual land in our state that is still pristine, available to use. We can build off that stuff. I would rather build a data center in one of these deals, but probably 4 data centers. You're going to have data centers. We need to embrace that, not run away from that. I think for the future of the state, what's going to be important are data centers and power. Those are going to be the 2 critical things for the state of Florida. Probably going to have 5 to 7 million people come to Florida. let's be clear on something here. Florida's going to continue to grow. We're going to have to think about what happens if you need fresh water for another 5 to 7 million people. Drinking water. How are we going to deliver that? Part of that is wastewater treatment.
So as y'all see, the water in Florida is gonna be crazy. That now they're trying to say that they're gonna use wastewater treatment to pretty much get sewage water and use that because of these data centers is gonna be probably absorbing so much of our fresh water. But I don't think this is a good look for Florida, man. Definitely not a good look for the water sources. But I want to know what y'all think about this in the comment section. A lot of the FBAs in Florida is a little disappointed in, Byron Donalds being close to being the governor. And they don't feel that either of these guys are capable of, fighting for the people. But I want to know what y'all think in the comment section. I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace and love.
A community must have three things to have a community in it. You must have a wholly independent economic structure that can provide goods, service, products, and things for your own people, and jobs and tax bases for your own people. You should at least control 4 basic things. You should be trying to control water, food, medicine, and energy to be able to survive and compete.
Here we got Mr. Pollock. He had a cornfield. He took advantage of a free water test from us, and this is what we found in this water. We found sulfur, we found hardness, and we solved these problems with an easy fix of 2 tanks. So get your free water test today. Stay blessed. Click the link below.